Cloudy Delivery project in Langa gave me that chance, and I realized that this project was about people and not just materials. The founders of Cloudy created a support system for their team, and our role was to contribute to something that was already full of care. One of the hardest lessons came during our first presentation on site. We thought our drawings would speak for themselves, but they didn't, and we had to learn that inclusive design is about listening carefully and being willing to adapt to Cloudy's needs. My focus became the shading strategy. I designed a timber pergola with sliding shade cloth. Through that, I learned how material choices affect cost, sustainability, and daily use. The design kept changing, and letting go of early ideas was tough, but I began to see the process as research by making, and staying flexible became part of the work. Teamwork was another challenge, but learning to give and receive feedback constructively made the design stronger. And in the end, the most satisfying part was seeing a portion of a design built.
Last week it wasn't there.
Yeah, I was fit very quick.
Oh wow.
Like since I was like at home, so these kids will come at my place asking me like for a ride, you know.
Okay.
So what happened was like they will ask me like they will bring like I ended up like renting out for.
My highlight of the elective was working as a group and getting to know my team. They're honestly the most amazing people, and just the laughs, struggles, cries through all the work, and meeting Cloudy Delivery and meeting the people there, meeting Colin and Sive and the whole group, and just getting to know them and chatting to them and learning about the new area and Langa and how they operate in that area, but just seeing how they all work together as a team. It was so inspiring, and they're just such amazing people. Yeah, just seeing how they work together and how they all come together for a better cause for their community and uplifting the community and creating jobs and opportunities for areas which have low income and low employment. So it was really inspiring to see what they're doing for the community. But my highlight, I can't pick out one, but it's probably just the collective, and also just the struggles of trying to find ideas and working with different people and different ideas and coming together and problem solving. It's a challenge, but it's amazing to see how different ideas and different opinions can work together for a better cause. So that was my highlight of the elective.
The fun path, the reason isenziwa i-diagram yokuthi sifuna ukuveza indawo
Find something that saves energy as well. And I don't know if this is something you guys want to add on.
Industrial, semi-clears, I've put them back to back. The reason being, we've got 16 mil timber and processed further. So the fine department, so here you'll see it. Okay, timber comes through. As you can see, there is a blade that's cleaning, and you get another one underneath roofs, which will be that.
Oh no.
Okay, which
So they're basically creating a truss. It's a truss.
yeah.
Yesterday.
Eight.
Yeah. It's just not a product that.
Now this edge, it kind of is the same as this edge because it's all paved.
Yeah.
But we do want to think about what happens in the area, but ensuring that there's still continuity across the site. Column and a plane, and then something more.
Yeah, I think in this use, neither.
Throughout this elective, I learned a lot more than I thought I would. From learning how to create a design and relating to a client to the actual realization of a project. I used to think that design was about an individual, but I learned that design works better as a collective when we all come together and we combine our work to create something unimaginable. While working with Cloudy Deliveries, I learned the importance of communicating well with the clients because they will not always understand the architectural terminology. I also learned that different communities produce different things. For example, in the project that we're doing now, the community at large played a larger impact on the design than just the site itself, which also played a big role in the actual design of what we were doing, or rather creating. One of the biggest highlights for me throughout this elective was learning to be flexible in my role. Even when I was tasked with doing the landscaping and working with timber frames, I had to learn how to be flexible, which taught me how to let go of the ownership that I had and focus on the collective success of the project. Ultimately, architecture is about people, place, and purpose. It is about being honest with clients, understanding the context, and adapting to change, thinking through materials, and working collaboratively. I drew a new meaning of architecture from this, which is architecture comes from listening, making, and leaving something positive behind, no matter how small the intervention may be.
I wanted to understand the intricacies and nuance in a design build situation. I wanted to understand how we get from concept ideation to prototyping, testing, and eventually designing something. So my intention was obviously to take this on into the next thing that I do in my life, obviously as an architect. And my biggest takeaway and highlight obviously was the sketching process, which I really liked with Andrew, and we went through that. And then later on, obviously, the prototyping that we did with Kevin. I really enjoyed, actually building, putting all those things together and seeing how, they tectonically, shift and mix and get and into each other. So yeah, I'd say it's really the hands-on aspect of it, because a lot of things change within the design build process. There's a lot of changes, and it's very impressive how the professor, which was Kevin, was able to actually shift and adapt to the changes that were happening, and in very in record time, actually, very quickly. So yeah, that was cool.